Now, when I'm dealing with angles of a triangle, we have to know that there are interior angles and exterior angles. Interior angles are the three angles that are happening inside of my triangle. Okay? And maybe you already know this, but the triangle sum theorem says that the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Okay? The three angles of a triangle add up to 180. So in example 2, if I want to use the triangle sum theorem here, I know all three angles inside the triangle, so all I need to do is do 5x minus 1 plus 8x plus 5 plus 4x plus 6. And after I add all three of those together, I'm going to get 180. Okay? Combine like terms. So if I combine all my x's, I'll get 17x. If I combine all my constants, I'll get 10 equals 180. All right, subtract 10 from both sides, so I get 17x equals 170. So x is going to equal 10. All right, now I could plug that back into each of these and figure out what their angle measures are. 85 degrees, don't forget my degree symbol, 49 degrees, and then last but not least, 46 degrees. Okay, 49, 46, and 85. So what type of triangle would this be? To throw it back to the previous video, all of my angles are acute, and since none of them are the same, that means I don't have any congruent sides. So this would be an acute scalene triangle. Okay, so that's dealing with the interior angles. All three interior angles add up to 180. What about the exterior angle theorem? Well, the exterior angle theorem says that if I have the measure of an exterior angle, that will equal the sum of the measure of the two opposite interior angles. So you'll notice down here in this problem, this exterior angle of 120 equals 50 plus 70, the sum of the two opposite interior angles. Okay? So the reason it does that is right here. We know that this is 60 because of a linear pair. All right? And since we know that the three interior angles of a triangle, 70, 50, and 60, have to equal 180, and since we know 60 and 120 have to equal 180, if we cut out the middleman, that means 50 plus 70 has to equal that exterior angle of 120. Okay? So this is going to really be important to identify what our opposite interior angles are. So in example 3, if we want to find the measure of angle 1, which is this missing interior angle, we are given the exterior angle and the two opposite interiors. So the exterior, 2x squared plus 3x, has to equal the sum of the two opposite interiors, or 28 plus 4x. Okay, 28 plus 4x. So we see a quadratic. So I need to set this equal to 0. So I'm going to move everything from the right-hand side over to the left-hand side. So I'll have 2x squared minus x minus 28 equals 0. All right, from here, we can factor this, but since our a value is 1, is not 1, since our a value of this quadratic is 2, it might be a little bit more difficult, so we can use the quadratic formula. A equals 2, b equals negative 1, c equals negative 28. All right, so I have x equals negative b, negative negative 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so negative 1 squared, have to remember to put it in parentheses, minus 4ac, or minus 4 times 2 times negative 28, all over 2a, or 2 times 2. All right, so if I simplify this, what I'm going to get is 1 plus or minus the square root. And then if I simplify inside my parenthesis, or inside under that square root, I'm going to get 225 all over 2 times 2, which is 4. All right, well, the square root of 225 is 15. So it's going to be 1 plus or minus 15 all over 4. So I'm going to have to go down a little bit. 1 plus 15 over 4 and 1 minus 15 over 4. So we could be looking at x equal to 4 or x equal to negative 14 over 4, which is negative 3.5. Okay? Now, negative 3.5 is going to make 4x become negative, right? 4 times negative 3.5 would be a negative angle. That's not possible. All right, so I'm going to use the 4 and I'm going to test this now. Okay, so if I zoom in here, x is equal to 4, which means that this is actually going to be 16, and 2 times 4 squared plus 3 times 4, this exterior angle is going to be 44, which makes sense because the 28 plus 16 equals the 44. So we're running out of room a little bit, but our end goal is to find the measure of angle 1. So we could do a couple things here. We could do angle 1 plus 28 plus 16 has to equal 180. Those 3 interior angles have to equal 180. Or we could do the linear pair. 44 plus the measure of angle 1 equals 180, that linear pair. All right, so the measure of angle 1 equals 180 minus 44, which is 136 degrees. All right, can't really tell based off the diagram. That's why you don't want to assume, because angle 1 in the diagram is definitely not obtuse. All right, but you can trust the math that the exterior angle equals the sum of the two opposite interior. Okay, now using everything we talked about in the last 2 videos, this one and the previous one, you got some you try now problems you can try. We'll go over those together in class. Let me know if you have any questions.